BenFlyingRetro, and I'm embarking on a quest to purchase every classic GI Joe comic from the original 80s and 90s Marvel run.
Warning.
Hunting down individual issues from every corner of the globe in whatever order the universe decides to give me. Join me and my pal Steve every week as we discuss my latest find. Welcome to Chasing Joe. Chasing Joe. Hello, it's episode 47 of Chasing Joe! We are consistent like the weather in the UK is still a heat wave. I am sweating like a gymnast's jockstrap. I'm so sorry that I've got to be that gross, S-Jubs. I'm at BenFlyingRetro. You guys are listening, watching, Chasing Joe. How the devil are you, good buddy from down under?
It's a frosty night here in Brisbane. What a
lies!
Fantastic.
It's impossible!
Oh, dude, here we are, man. Opposite sides of the globe. If I walk out into the night air, I smell people with fires going. Like, it's not like it's 0 degrees, but hey, if the mercury dips below like 10 into the single digits, Australia becomes very cold.
I've spent a lot of time in Brisbane, S-Jubs, a lot of time. The Battle of Brisbane was one night I had there where I can't remember that much, but it's a great city. I can't believe that you walk the streets at night of Brisbane. You've got great stuff to the south, you've got great stuff to the north. You should just be in your family wagon and just doing day trips. Is that what you do? That's what I would do. Get yourself to Fraser Island and go and swim with some tiger sharks.
Am I even alive, Ben? Damn. I do the school run and that's me done. My feet up.
I love it. Yeah, get horizontal. That's what I say to Emma every night. I'm like, how long until I can be horizontal on my couch? Look, the postman has beeneth, and it's the same as last week. It's Funky Bunch. It's Mark. We are getting through his kind-hearted donations.
Ooh, what a thick stack of books, mate.
It is. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's about 5 or 6 books here. But what has he got for me here? Let's have a look. We're doing the reveal. It's upside down. Sometimes that happens. It is issue 18. Dropped September the 6th, all the way back 1983. This is a very old comic book that I hold in my hand. Massive thanks to Mark for picking this up for me. I appreciate all of the donations that I received for this show. It warms the cockles. Not that they need warming because there's a heat wave, but it does give me all the feels that I can be on somebody else's radar where they're trying, when they're trying to have a good time. There we go. But I can see your lips moving. You're about to say something, and I'd slap you around the face and say, "No, you're not immersed yet. You're not immersed in the cultural landscape of September 6th, 1983. I was 2 years old. Now, if I had gone to the movies at 2, I could have seen Mr. Mum, means nothing to me. I could have seen Risky Business. Now, that does mean something to me because I've just finished a Tom Cruise-a-thon. I've done Days of Thunder, Cocktail, A Few Good Men. I am obsessed with the Cruiser right now. Risky Business, a fantastic sort of coming of age film.
And what have you learnt, Ben? Have you unlocked the secrets of? Is it Edu? What's the name of their god?
Wait, sorry. What?
I'm talking about Scientology. Rather not. What have you divined from all of this cruising?
I think he's a fantastic actor. No one else really like him. He's a one of one. He's a trading card numbered one of one. There will never be anyone else like him. Some of those old films are so good. Like Days of Thunder never hit me in the feels back then. I was like, well, this is Top Gun light. but it's actually so kind of balls out crazy and honest about knowing what it is that it's a fantastic film. I've been sleeping on that film. It's just so kind of, it's just honest. It's just a good time. It's shot like Tony Scott shot the heck out of that film. That's the great thing about these old 80s, 90s films. Like, they were shot so beautifully, you know, the standard was always high. And I massively appreciate that.
Because they were actually there, man, rolling cameras on real film, shooting real planes and real cars.
Yeah.
You dare not screw that up.
Don't screw that up. And look, okay, that's screen 1 and 2, but where you should be is over in screen 3, where you could still catch Return of the Jedi, which came out in May, but it was still making bucks. And to see that in 1983 would have just been incredible.
And none of that Jedi rocks and pits of carcoon nonsense.
No, lower.
Have not watched it since 1997.
Edition.
Fuck that movie.
Oh, okay.
Look, was it 98? When did the special edition Jedi come out? Was it end of 97?
Yeah, it was. Maybe 97 around there. But look, let's see if we can chill you out because you're very upset. So let's turn on the radio and see what we get. And what we get is Michael Sembello with "She's a Maniac on the Floor." Now, if you listen to that song,
I once did a drag act to that.
Stop it!
Stop it, Charlie. Yeah, man.
That's so good. If you listen to that song whilst you're like doing circuits or something, you can't just, you smile and just laugh at yourself. It's hilarious. Look, as I always say, don't just pick this comic up in a vacuum. Get something else as well. So issue 4 of Marvel's adaptation of Return of the Jedi was out the same day as this dropped. That must have been thrilling. You're seeing Return of the Jedi on the big screen, and then you can also enjoy this Marvel 4-part adaptation of it. And I would love to give that a look, to be fair, because I bet the art is incredible. And maybe
I loved those adaptations because they often had additional scenes.
Yes, additional.
Kind of, like the Empire one had a little bit of Wampa action. Like the cuts, the stuff of the Wampas in Echo Base. Yeah.
Yes, C-3PO tears, but they actually shot that scene. He tears the sticker that says "Do not enter." And then the Imperial troopers, Imperial troops have entered the base. Imperial troops have entered the base. Yeah, they do go in there and they get wampified.
And also, look, the Marvel comic had a strange, like the version of Yoda that they used looked different.
Yes,
lovely.
The Marvel ongoing comic was very Flash Gordon, science fiction, fantasy, and zany. I don't know what the look of these adaptations would have been. I think they would have been different. But look, I am a man that is close to sort of getting into a new scene of reading film adaptations, like you just said. They're thin, they're pulpy, they're basic, they're right at my reader level. I want to do like Aliens and things like that. I think there's some fun to be had. Probably more fun back then because, you know, you sat around, all of these IPs are effectively dead. You don't think you're getting Alien 3 maybe in the early 90s. You think it's done. So reading Aliens and like getting these additional scenes would have been riveting. Right, we've done the comic shop. You're a little bit more happy now. You've cheered up a little bit because you were quite upset. Now I'm going to take you to the arcade, where we are going to just drain quarters into Dragon's Lair. Now, a cinematic animation type of video game. Now, I only know this game from it appearing in 80s movies and things like that. I kind of know it in the zeitgeist, but I have never played it. What happens? You put quarters in and then you just watch scenes play out?
I'm trying to find images of this game because I kind of recall something like that.
Oh, so it
It's like
doesn't mean much to you?
it's a quick time event, yeah?
Dude, I think they just
kind of
announced
go left, go
who's
right.
the actor. They're making of course they're making a film out of it. They make a film out of everything. I think someone's been cast as the main dude. There's a big bit of it in Stranger Things that's quite iconic when they're all playing it. But yeah, I don't know if it's a choose your own adventure thing, but I think it was a relatively big deal. But look, let me drag you. You've wasted enough money in there. Let me drag you to the main event in the arcade, Star Wars. Atari's Star Wars arcade game featuring a 3D vector graphics depiction of the trench run. Now, you are younger than I, but surely this one must have hit you at some point.
I only after the fact have discovered this thing. Looks amazing.
You've got to admit, it does. You felt like you were in that trench, and the arcade cabinet was a thing of beauty. It was so joyous. You had the full sit-down one, and it wasn't necessarily like an X-Wing cockpit. It was almost like a hybrid of just sort of generic science fiction and Star Wars. It was very cool.
Probably more resembles a TIE fighter if I'm imagining it correctly. How subversive is that? You're destroying your own guys.
I had it on the C64. It was joyous if it loaded. That was the joy of retro gaming. You would buy something and it was a coin toss if it worked. Now, let me take you to Toys R Us, where there's only one toy in town.
I definitely played this on my friend's 386. I played it on PC
surely.
many, many years after. Yeah. Okay.
There you go. PC, personal computer. Let's do this. Toys R Us. It's Return of the Jedi toys. It's the Kenner line. Did people buying the toys then understand that Return of the Jedi was the last film? Ergo, they ain't making any more of these toys? Did they understand that these were quite precious? For me and my brother, this made up the majority of our collection. It was the C players. It was Klaatu. It was Re-Yeez. It was Bib Fortuna. It was predominantly Jabba's Palace alien characters. And we had multiples like Gamorrean Guards, one of my, not only my favorite Kenner figure, but one of my favorite action figures, just because of the heft S-Jubs. These
you got
big
your plastics worth.
these thigh ball joints, they were joyous.
Were they ball joints?
Well,
surely not. Swivels.
They were swivels. We call them swivels. Fine. Damn it,
Sorry. Ain't no ball joints in classic Star Wars figures.
Would you have got Ewok Village playset? Would you have got we used to call them Atsters, ATST, Chicken Walker. Don't know what you called them, S-Jubs, but yeah.
There's a mini rig from Jedi that I would have loved to have, and that's the one that looks like the Imperial shuttle. That's cool.
Very cool.
It's like an Imperial shuttle fighter.
Again, that was the few parts of the Kenner line that would get your imagination like, oh, what's this? New canon. This wasn't in the film. What's this? I have more memory of all of the Empire Strikes Back ones. The little,
they're far more famous.
The little tank with the twin turrets that would go up and down.
Best. That was GI Joe Snow Tank
cool.
for me. I didn't have other snow vehicles at the time. That was my baby. But I wish I had more.
Yeah.
I loved my brother's catalog from Empire Strikes Back was something that spent many a night in my room, like me, under the covers, paging through it.
Do you think the headquarters of Kenner, they ever kicked around, or do you think they even had a meeting where they were like, look, we quite enjoy making millions of dollars selling Star Wars toys. We've only really been going a few years. Can we keep going? Can we make more toys? Do you think Lucas shut that down and said, well, no, I don't want you just inventing characters? Interesting. I'm sure they would have pitched, we want to make more toys. They would have had to have done.
Well, you might argue that the animated series that came after Jedi were vehicles
What,
to sell
droids?
toys, droids and Ewoks.
Yeah, that's late. I mean, that's miles after 83, though, isn't it? It's got to be. I remember
Are
watching
you
that coming
saying
back from
that
school.
the Kenner boys wanted to like make their own
I'm
characters?
saying they would have been like, we can't stop. This literally would have been their company. They must have been absolutely like nervous, like, oh my God. We've
Hmm.
expanded with this toy line, expanded, and we're making big bucks. But Mr. Lucas is saying that is it. Anyway, this is not a Kenner podcast. I wish it was.
Well, in some respects, it is. Like you might be onto something, Ben. Like that was
mm,
the golden egg. The goose that laid the golden eggs was dead, and some years after that, Hasbro was able to acquire Kenner
yeah, there you
as a
go.
result.
That
Like,
was it.
yeah, Hasbro probably
Well,
used
look,
all of its GI Joe bank to buy a flagging Kenner after the Star Wars plug had been pulled. Anyway, let's talk about GI Joe
at
comics.
episode 47, the running total is still £211.81, 288 USD, 14 donations. This is from Mark, funky bunch of Talking Joe. However, we are chasing Joe. Does this book mean anything to you? It's an early one. Did you get it as a child? How have you just read it in 2025?
In the year 2000, 25 years ago, I and my
Right.
buddy Alistair went to a flea market at the beach, Musenberg
Okay.
Beach in Cape Town. I found a boxed Skystorm X-Wing chopper for 50 Rand, which is like, I don't know, £2. Uh, and found that comic book the same day. What a
Right.
magical, magical day of just finding old G.I. Joe stuff at a
Don't
flea
you just
market.
love that everything that you've just said is just encapsulated in this little time capsule? This
Mm,
little issue is a little memory box for you, S Jubs. That's the
magical.
power of nostalgia, and that is the great thing about doing this show. So when you look at this book again in 10 years, you're going to have two stories. You're going to have that story, and you're going to be like, oh, yeah, Chasing Joe with Ben. Great times. Um, these are time capsules. I am
Yeah.
holding a 1983 historical document. Let's get into it.
Well, technically, you're holding a bag that holds the book. Me, I'm not a bag and board kind of guy. I want to touch the paper every time I
Ooh,
thumb through my long box.
Qbert.
Yes.
As we know, we love the ads. We love the ads. We don't like adverts today, but boy, do we like them from 1983. This cover, so this issue doesn't really mean anything to me. I don't have any of those kind of core memories like you do. But whenever I'd see this issue, either in hand because Chief had it or digitally, I always just think of a bit like that Star Wars game we just talked about. I think of an arcade. I think of Vector. I think of someone's vision of the future, like this computer console.
Oh,
It
overly
feels
complex, but
yes.
so deliciously presented. This is absolutely like Kirby-esque,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
convoluted technology, heavy
Destro
inks.
Destro packing heat there as well.
Mm. So Destro and
With
Cobra
his
Commander
knee up
in
on that
the
box.
foreground of this control room on a screen. The Joe team have corralled somebody. We see him from the
Mm.
back. It's difficult to say it's even a Cobra because he's only mildly darker colored than the Joes. Like the
Yeah.
screen is basically like a black and white. Very retro.
It feels like the surrounding tech. It's taking a lot for Cobra Commander to go full screen there. A lot of power. Yeah, I think Destro looks fantastic. I love the way he's been drawn. A beautiful high collar, the medallion. He's ticking all the boxes. He's got his wrist rockets, his wrist grenades. And my issue, I don't know if you can see this, is as you know, I like its newsstand,
Mm-hmm.
which means
Barcode, baby.
it means that someone came out of seeing Return of the Jedi, Hollywood Boulevard, saw a newsstand, picked up the LA Times and was like, I also fancy some GI Joe. I picked that up and now I have it. What a journey this book has been on. Would you like to give our viewers, listeners, a synopsis of this issue? No pressure.
I wouldn't. So, yeah, it's your turn, Ben. Step up to the plate. Destro Returns is the title, and absolutely, Destro is the linchpin of this issue. He's the man leading the action. He is tracking down Scarface. Turns out the Joes are also tracking down Scarface, and so are Snake Eyes and his buddy Quinn. These three forces all congregate at Scarface's shed on Coney Island, but Destro is the man who gets to walk away with the prize and takes him all the way to Libya, where he's met with Dr. Venom, Cobra Commander, gets administered what he thinks is a plague toxin as a sort of a ticking time bomb. The Joes stage a rescue mission to reacquire Scarface and take him back to base with them. Unbeknownst to them, he's got this virus coursing through his veins.
Man, I tell you what, you could summarize anything for me. That was beautiful. Just so effortless. I just want to start.
I've read this a few times, Ben.
Oh, okay. I want to start by saying I spent a lot of time at Coney Island. A lot of time, like weeks and weeks. The good wife, Emma, had an office in Brooklyn for many, many years. So we would summer in New York City, and we were staying in Brooklyn. And I would just look at I was about to say the tube map. I'd look at the subway line, and I was like, well, hang on, what's this? There's a beach here. And 20 minutes on the train, and we were just at this beach, and I was like, what? Why is no one talking about this? It was amazing. Beautiful beach. You know, there was a little bit of glass there and stuff. It was a little bit rough around the edges, but Emma would, go to the office, do a day's work, and I'd be like, right, I'm off to Coney Island to have a battle with Destro on a roller coaster.
Well, clearly you were a tourist because, I mean, if this blurb is anything to go by, and Larry Hama is a New York, local.
Okay, read it, yeah.
He kicks us off saying, Coney Island isn't what it used to be, but it's still there, festering off the coast of Brooklyn like the remains of an ancient birthday party. Damn!
Well, look, I think...
Out for blood.
In 1983, tourism in New York didn't hit, I don't think, the UK. It was big in the 90s. They cleaned it up, man.
Okay.
I think it was quite rough.
Run down.
Yeah. So I think that he probably had a few issues there. But look, let's get into this. I want to start by saying that who's on pencils here, S-Jubs?
Mike Fosberg.
Okay, so I have, when I look at these old issues, I am more coming from the point of having a deep, deep appreciation and love of this artwork. At the same time, I'm not saying this is my favorite art style, but I absolutely do love poring over these images and taking it in because it's of its time. And I think what I mean by that is it's the expressions. Is a lot of a lot of big smiles, and then the inverse of that, kind of heavy frowns and sobbing, and everything is ramped up to 11 with the emotions. It is beautiful to look like, and you do feel like you're reading something that's actually maybe a little earlier than the 80s, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the art? I feel like this is pure joy for you.
Well, you express it very well, Ben. It is kind of anachronistic. The art form had kind of, I guess, been pushed a lot further by the early 80s. But Mike Fosberg gloriously is like this throwback artist.
Mm-hmm.
Very heavily Kirby inspired by the looks of things. And
Yes.
I love it. It's a good fit for early GI Joe. Like Quinn,
Yes.
Snake Eyes, Dr. Venom, Scarface. These plot lines are so signature of Mike's stuff. And you've asked me before on this show who does the best job illustrating Destro, because there is some variation. You've either got artists that really lean into like the expressiveness of the mask. Can it move as much as a human face? Whereas Mike goes the other way and makes it a very stony-faced, very unmoving expression, but like gives it this very angular sculpture to it, which is true of the action figure. And I like that. I like Destro being like, perhaps not as hard-lined and bolty as a Doctor Doom, but not far off.
Yeah, it's funny you bring up the Doctor Doom because he is really... He's on his own in this issue, and he really is being
the big bad,
written as a supervillain. Really, a big bad.
He can hold off the Joes, fight them to a standstill. One-man army.
Fits this time perfectly, doesn't he? He really does. He's a supervillain right there. That's an X-Men supervillain you're looking at right there. Those wrist rockets are lethal as well. Before we continue on Destro, and I do want to come back to Destro, I just want to talk about Torpedo and rock and roll, man. I love their little insertion to Coney Island. They're going sailing. Now, what are they on? Because they've got
a piece of equipment.
They've got beautiful technique. It's like they're, I don't know, an intro to Miami Vice or something. They are sailing so well. And I imagine quietly, which is key.
Sneaking up on the island on a windsurfer. The Manta. Yes. Oh, glorious.
Yes, so glorious. That is how they get there. There's some beautiful drawings of them, like on the crest of waves, and Torpedo's like doing all the rigging and stuff. And there's some great stuff when they actually do hit the beach. There's some kind of low-level flirting happening, I think.
Oh, yeah.
You guys sail that thing all the way from Malibu? Nah, just from the Staten Island. Mind watching it for us till we get back? Sure, don't take too long. Whoa!
Ooh, girls.
What does that mean?
They do love a man in uniform, I guess. Even if that uniform is fins, a mask, and some oxygen tanks.
No, you got to imagine they are just sunbathing that day, and then Torpedo and Rock and Roll rock up on the beach, dressed like that. And my favorite thing about these comics is that Torpedo, he doesn't take off his flippers. He doesn't take off his breathing apparatus. He just runs around in full gear.
Now they've very cannily covered it up with speech bubbles, but I'm pretty sure in the original Forsberg art,
full fins,
you can see fins there because you can see it in the wide shot. He's
if
definitely
that's what the
wearing
toy
them.
comes with, that's how I'm drawing him, buddy.
Oh boy,
yeah, he's got
what a
fins,
time.
and he's running around because back to Destro. I mean, some great images of Destro just on a freaking roller coaster. Why does he get dropped there? He's on a wooden roller coaster. He wrist rockets that. Yes, that blows up. And then down below, it's... what is Rock and Roll? He's like, sheesh, it's raining roller coaster parts. Too bad. Better if it were raining Destro parts.
Line.
Look, we
now
are in
say that,
early
say that
pages.
through a respirator.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's trying to dodge, like, wooden things coming down, and he's... he should be walking backwards. That's what you do in Fins. Look, we're in the early pages of this book, and it's zany. We're at Coney Island. There's a roller coaster. There's a supervillain on a roller coaster. He's blowing everything up. They keep banging on about a shed. This shed is key with Quinn and Snake Eyes. We get Destro stealing an ice cream truck. It's
it's very wacky races.
You've got banjo music playing in your head. You're like, okay, I'm down for this. I'm having fun, but this is a 2-in-1 story because as soon as you get to where's my comic? Here it is. Look, if you want to go to me, you get a full page NBC splash, yeah?
Oh man.
And when you turn over, boom, we are in to like another story arc. And it's serious and it feels miles away from Coney Island. Just tracking back before we get there, we do get a three-way car chase. What are the Joes in? Is that some kind of APC?
Very good. The amphibious personnel carrier.
It's
Featured
cool
with its top
looking.
off. Yeah, it's cool. I never thought about using it without the top until
It has to
seeing it in
have
this
the top
issue.
off, doesn't it? So you can see everyone. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
I think
It's really
so.
good to have that, like, I don't know, just that open wagon vibe. You can see all the figures. They're all kind of clustered around the cab area, which gives it the cozy factor because there's a
Yeah.
nice bit of armor up front. But
Yeah.
you've also got like easy access in and out. Rock and Roll can kind of lean over and shoot with his machine gun.
Yes.
He's having no luck shooting through the ice cream truck because it's insulated. That's
So
the biggest
they're-
load of BS.
Okay, so the APC is chasing the ice cream truck. I mean, there's some hilarious panels of Destro in that ice cream truck. And then the ice cream truck is chasing the pink caddy with Quinn
Scarface.
with Quinn in the pink caddy, yeah?
Nah, Scarface. Quinn
Wait.
and Snake Eyes give Scarface the keys to the pink Cadillac.
There we go. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you've got a lot of love for Quinn, haven't you? You want that fig, or you wanted that fig.
I guess I still do. I mean, the more of these classic books that we cover in Chasing Joe, I'm just like, that's a big hole in this.
Yeah, surely
plot
they're going
arc.
to do a classified, won't they, of Quinn?
Classified's dead to me, man.
I know. It is
O-ring
dead
figure.
to you. I don't think it was ever alive for you. It was
sadly,
dead
no.
on arrival.
As my brothers from another podcast would say, it ain't the Lord's scale, so I'm just not interested. Oh,
But look,
what is Destro's alternative wrist armament? So he's got 3 rockets on the one side.
And then
What's
grenades.
he lobbing on the other side?
I know. I don't understand that. I would much rather snatch one off my wrist and then toss it with my arm.
I think they do illustrate from time to time a sort of row of grenades on his other wrist.
Yeah. I
It's
tell you
less
what, man, he must
clear.
have strong forearms. Grenades are heavy.
Well, if you read into the IDW run, turns out his hands get amputated and he has like robots, it's like cybernetic strength enhanced hands.
Jesus wept. Okay.
I know. What the hell? But
Look.
hang on, there is precedent. In the cartoon series, when Destro is introduced, he places his hand in this sort of like X-ray reading device to get him into the Cobra lair. And maybe they didn't know what to do with Destro at the time. In fact, that probably was more the reason. But like, he's absolutely got cybernetic hands in that
Yeah.
X-ray animation.
Or they're like assisted, motorized kind of,
Watch Mass Device again. First episode. Anyone listening to this, if you're curious, take a little look-see. It's a blink and you miss it moments, but you let us know. Does Destro have robot hands?
Okay, well, look, you let me know something because this is funny. We mentioned low levels of flirting, but when we arrive in Libya, someone is missing. Now, are you trying to tell me
What happened to Torpedo?
he is chatting up chicks on the beach? I mean, he's meant to be tip of the sword.
Great lines. I'm so glad they touched back on the beach scene with Rock and Roll and Torpedo. Because Rock and Roll is present in the team going into Libya, and he says he had to go back to the beach to pick up the manta from the people we left it with. Scarlett's ever the reasonable one. She's sort of almost covering from saying, he wouldn't do too much good for us in the desert anyway. Rock and Roll. He just has to twist the knife right at the end saying, I wouldn't say that. He's probably getting down to some heavy maneuvers in the sand right now.
That is an amazing callback.
Beautiful.
That is excellent writing. I mean, could you imagine when you're at the first half of this issue, you don't necessarily think that you are going to be treated to some of these panels that we get towards the end of this insane large scale action with all of this armor and Wild Bill. I mean, it's 2 books in one, S-Jubs.
Absolutely. This is where the action comes in. G.I. Joe intercepts a Cobra convoy heading out from Tripoli into sort of, I suppose, where Cobra would have maybe training camps in Libya. Libya at this stage was a very terrorist-friendly destination. So I guess Cobra was pals with Gaddafi. In any case, G.I. Joe is able to slip into this convoy, like through this kind of heavy sandstorm, and
Yes. It's drawn
reacquire
beautifully.
Scarface.
Yeah, that's it. So they can. There's confusion in the lineup of vehicles due to the sandstorm, and we get some
Bamps and Rams. Like, everyone's got the same kind of equipment, it seems.
right. Yeah,
Have you noticed
Yeah.
that, like, Cobra's got a utility vehicle, which is the same structure as a Vamp? That's...
Hey, you in the utility vehicle! You're drifting too close! Maintain your
Sure.
distance! Sorry, trooper. Hard to see in all this dust, you know. Now, where's some great dialogue coming up? Where is this? Oh, yeah. I'll have him sing a song for you. But first, I have to find out what key his head is in. Bonk. C flat.
Is it good?
Dude, there's some good humor, man, in this issue. There's some good writing. And boy, is there some good art. Woo, wow. Yeah, this is some just joyous, like, ground armor battle action we're getting at the end of this issue. And then all the way in the end, we get these lovely interiors of this GI Joe sub, where they think they're winning, but they have got an infected Scarface laid out on that bunk. And
You'd
it
think
kind of
they'd have learnt their
ends-
lesson by now.
No, they have not.
So, the elephants in the room with this issue, and it's something that's only occurred to me now, they are tasked with this very, very, very risky mission to
Yes.
secure Scarface because of all the secrets that he supposedly knows about Cobra. In that convoy was Destro, was Dr. Venom, and the head snake himself, Cobra Commander. Like, come
Yeah.
now.
They're all there. Oh, I tell you
You
what,
could've
though,
gotten
look, Cobra Commander's got the
bag.
cozy factor going on there.
Very
Venom.
romantic.
Yeah,
Side by
that's
side with
it. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I
man.
do love the ability for a comic book to shift gears like this, because as I was reading it, you'd never imagine that they'd get to Libya and this would play out like this. In my head, I was reading this and I was like, we are firmly on Coney Island for a kind of zany, madcap banjo music quip issue of G.I. Joe. But, 22 pages, economy of storytelling. It's amazing what you can achieve with a few panels and some word balloons, isn't it, S-Jubs?
Yeah, and this is absolutely the part of the mission that I would have played out, or the part of the issue that I would
Yes.
have played out with my toys.
You would have
The
struggled
idea
with
of this-
the first bit, I think.
I guess, I don't know, like, something about the wackiness puts me off. Like,
Mhm.
I have a strong revulsion to action sequences that play out in amusement parks. I think as a
Yeah.
trope in popular culture, it's way too played out.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that. Yeah.
Like, I don't want my heroes having to do battle against, like, weaponized kiddie carts and, like, carnival rides and going into
Yeah.
the Hall of Mirrors and there being, like, some booby traps there. Like, it's all just a little bit too whimsical. Like, a really big bad would just come up and shoot you in the head. They're not going to hide
Yeah.
behind, like, the stretched out mirror and the concave and convex. Like, come on.
But I do appreciate the balance of being able to do both in the same issue.
Oh, yeah. You're right when you say
Um,
it's 2 issues in one. It did feel like a bonus backup story when we shift
Yes,
focus to
that is
Libya.
exactly what it felt like. It was a backup. Yeah. for sure.
And once again, Destro is the man to beat. Scarlet's on a ram. She's like, Destro's too smart. He might figure it out too fast. And Grunt's like, not to worry. There's not much he can do about it on foot. Brrr, hits him with the ram's gun. And if you were wondering what a ram's 20 millimeter rotary gun can do, boy oh boy, it detracts this his tank so fast. In fact, more than detracts, like it is a smoldering wreck.
Yeah.
But Destro, Cobra Commander, and Venom are able to emerge unscathed. Miraculously.
Well, Cobra's probably lowest bidder for those parts, you know, those side panels. They'll shave a few mil off the armor for a cheaper production rate, maybe.
And keep it quick as well. It is a high-speed
know.
sentry. People will argue with you if you call it a tank, you know that?
Yeah. I see tracks. I see tank. Do you like Destro's little monologue at the end about the sort of Trojan horse comparison?
Trojan Gambit was but how many issues back was that? Like that was issue 3. Of course. So like 15 issues back. So yeah, clearly Greek mythology was big on Larry's reading rotation. What did he say? So the men of Troy did give the horse within the gates of their city. Scarface is my Trojan horse, and he will be able to destroy GI Joe headquarters as Agamemnon sacked fabled Ilium. He's a poetic dude, old Destro. But then again, all of Larry's baddies are, aren't they?
Yeah, look, I'd like the... do you think we could have got a GI Joe sub toy? Like
I almost wanted a Cobra sub more than a Joe sub.
Totally. I don't know.
But there's a lot to be said for like having a clandestine group of operatives that you can deploy by sub. It really is the stealthiest way.
Yes. Yeah. Beautiful amount of detail on the interiors on that sub as well.
Are they in the torpedo room?
What? I looked at those as like fans, but you think those are loaders? They probably are, aren't they? Very much so.
Well, there's not
the
same
sleep next to the freaking torpedo room.
Well, I think on old school subs, like your torpedo room operators did have bunks in there, but like, I don't know, buddy. Maybe this is a bigger sub than that. Maybe these are the rear torpedo tubes.
Dude, I was once in San Diego with Phoenix, and they had a floating museum of ships and things. And they had 2 subs there, World War II subs, and you were allowed in one end and you walk through the whole sub and then you come out the other end. And it was just me and Phoenix there, and we went down there and did it, and I started to really have a freak out. I couldn't wait to get out. Subs, I don't know how people do it. I can't think.
And for months at a time.
A modern sub, I don't care. Any sub, like it really gave me like all the instruments. I was like, how does even anyone understand all of this? Like the technology back then, it's crazy. I came out feeling like, did not like that.
It was the Midway Museum, yeah?
It must have been, yeah. Yeah, you familiar?
Yeah. I went in 2007. But then it's easy to confuse with, I think it's the Enterprise that's docked in New York. And that I went...
and that had...
I went there in 2018.
Has an Apollo ship, doesn't it? That was pretty cool.
It's got the shuttle, it's got the Concorde, it's got the Blackbird, it's also got a sub. Yeah. I think it's called the Growler, something like that.
Yeah, that thing is awesome. The Blackbird, yeah. Will Smith in that film where he's playing golf off the wing of it. You know that film? The zombie film or something? I don't know. It's really...
I Am Legend. Right.
I Am Legend. He's playing golf.
Jeez, dude. Deep recall. I saw that once and once only.
Yeah, I think the book is insanely good. I'm not sure about the film. Well, look, there we go. Covered another great issue for Chasing Joe, issue 18. Do yourself a favor and pick it up. Little slice of comic history, I would say there. Beautiful. Have you got anything else you would like? Oh, there's his Destro. That ain't my version.
It is definitely my version. I'm a V1 baby all the way. Something about the silver can't be beat. But a fun fact about Destro, and we'll hopefully, I mean, we spoke about time capsules and the importance of chronicling the stuff. Maybe one day I'll rediscover this factoid through this podcast. But
Okay.
my son Elliot, every morning, because my Terradrome is set up in the dining room, basically, every morning for breakfast comes in and grabs Destro and has a conversation with his action figure every morning,
Oh my
without
days.
fail. Destro,
You have done well. You have done well. That's
Oh.
joyous, and that's what I love about having like all of my GI Joe toys are. They're occasional toys. They are laid out around the house. You can find one here, there, and it's fascinating what they're drawn to, isn't it? Like, oh, okay, you're drawn to Destro. You're drawn to like these Ninja Force figures. I just love having them laying around because it stimulates conversation. Emma's really interested in them. Don't hide your collection away in the broom cupboard. You know, get them out there, baby.
But I have to walk a delicate balance, pal, because these are
Ooh.
old and difficult to replace. So if he wants to play rough, I've got some beaters, I've got some duplicates, so we're getting there. We're getting there. But why Destro? Why Destro? On this Terradrome, there is Storm Shadow, there is Zartan, there is Dr. Mindbender, there's Cobra Commander,
dude.
There's Bats, Crimson Guardsman, but Destro's the one.
Silver head. He's got a shiny silver head, man.
Can't be beat.
He
seems approachable. Like, he says, "Hey, Destro," and I answer, "Yes. What is it, Elliot?" Yeah. In my best, like, Darth Vader / Destro animated voice.
Look, we are approachable on this podcast. Drop us a line. Keep going in the comments. I love reading the comments. They're so awesome. I read all of them. I don't know. Do you reply? I should reply more. People put in a lot of work. They write us joyous essays sometimes.
I find myself like stopping short of actually replying, which is such a cop-out. But I wind up like realizing I wouldn't say much more than a hearty thank you. So I wind up like doing the little heart emoji. You know, GI Joburg loves this comment, loves this. So, like, I hope guys don't feel snubbed if I don't actually put words, but it really is just like, I just want to tell you that your comment rocks. So, have the heart.
Totally. A hearty mushroom, like from Breath of the Wild. You cook that up, beautiful.
Delish.
Lost on
bit of garlic,
US jumps.
bit of butter.
Yeah.
No, look, I know a bit of Zelda. I know Zelda through you, basically, and listening to you chat about it.
Film's coming. Look, I have been at BenFlyingRetro. We've been chasing Joe. Follow me on Instagram. Tune into PWP, People Who Play. That's a show I do with the good wife, Emma. S-Jubs. You're always here, GI Joburg. Content regular as clockwork, coming on 15, 16, 17 years, don't know how long, but it's a long time. I'm guessing the people stay right where they are.
Affirmative, and we love them for it. Thank you everybody listening to this now and in the future. Yo Joe.
Fantastic. Only one thing left to say, and that is
Destro is his name. Destro is his name.